Hello world, this is Cocoroom, heavenly garden in the middle of Kamagasaki. Hello world, this is Cocoroom and I'm Dan, your host for the English program. And today we have Tengyo. So Tengyo is the host of Cocoroom's normal radio program, which is all in Japanese. And recently, Cocoroom won an international citizenship award from the Japan Foundation, and it's really exciting. So Tengyo thought, in order to expand Cocoroom's influence and connect to a broader international audience, he asked me to help him out and do an English version of the radio show. It's all new and really exciting, and we're looking forward to having many episodes. And hopefully all of you will listen and enjoy the show. So today we will be looking at some paragraphs read by our good friend Justin. So Tengyo, hey.
Yay!
What's up?
Hey, good. Thanks.
Thanks for coming on the show today.
Thanks.
And
nice to be here.
yeah, that's great. So tell us more about this Justin fella. Who is he?
Oh yes, Justin Jesse is Cocoroom's good friend and also a good supporter.
Right.
And then he's an author and
Wow.
also a professor of University of Washington.
Yep.
And then he translated an article of Kanayo Ueda, who is the founder, owner of Cocoroom, who is a poet as well.
Yes, that's right.
The title is Isolation and Neighboring Relations in Osaka's Kamagasaki, The Gaps and What Breaks Through Them. To express is to live. It's a very, very inspiring.
Yes.
And then this time Justin himself reads
Wow.
his translation.
I see.
Yeah,
I see.
and then today we're gonna air the first paragraph from the translation.
Okay, can I ask you just one question before we air this?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, why do you think this article is important? What do you like about it?
Yes, in this article, originally Kanayo talks about the relationship between Cocoroom and the locals in Kamagasaki, which is a very, very special community. Some people say that Kamagasaki is the biggest Japanese community for homeless people and the people on welfare.
Yep.
With many reasons, people ended up in living in Kamagasaki, and then you know, it's a very dramatic relationship with those people. Kanayo also talks about how she and the Cocoroom have developed the art activities in Kamagasaki.
Right.
You know,
right.
people before thought like, what? Art in Kamagasaki? You know, art and Kamagasaki didn't match at all.
I see.
Yeah. And then Kanayo and the Cocoroom brought something very, very different and inspiring to the community.
Right.
And surely some people, the locals, changed their behaviors and changed their attitudes towards other people, towards their own life, something like that. So that's why I think this article is very interesting.
Right, yeah, and that's probably why this is featured on a magazine of socially engaged art. And I think some of the themes you covered were spoken about on our first episode as well, so this is really exciting. I'm looking forward to airing this.
Yeah, and
anyway,
please don't forget, after this paragraph reading, Dan's introducing the Cocoroom's Garden by audio is following up.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes.
So
very exciting.
Yeah,
very
enjoy
insightful.
guys.
Okay, bye for now.
Isolation and Neighboring Relations in Osaka's Kamagasaki, The Gaps and What Breaks Through Them. To Express is to Live, by Ueda Kanayo. 1. Introduction. Art is a technique for surviving. The world we live in is comprised of a vast multitude of things. This multitude of things enmeshed with one another make up our world. People cannot live without others. People live by mutual involvement. When we sense connection to another and try to address them, we are attempting some kind of expression. The activities of the Cocoroom that I introduced below are practices aimed at valuing each other's existence so that everyone may be able to express themselves. We believe that living together with diverse forms of life and diverse forms of value entails learning from each other and enriching the circuits and points of contact that connect us to others. This is what we attempt day to day in our activities. I believe that making expression conscious is an exercise that moves one's internal other. This is an idea that I learned from the political philosopher Kurihara Akira, who thinks of autonomy and self-determination as grounded in the moment of moving one's internal other, of playing host to oneself. We can think of a sommelier as supporting the process of one person hosting another, for instance. But even within that person, a similar scenario plays out. The side supported and the side that supports engage in an interchange that materializes through dissociative communication. I believe that expression animates such dissociative communication and has the potential to transform and renew many kinds of consciousness. Can we understand these endeavors toward expression as art? There are certainly skeptics. Some people think the work of an artist should be to make their works public to the world and to refine the quality of their work. Those people are unlikely to think of the activity of engaging with another to produce a work whose author is not always identifiable as art. More recently, there are other people who treat expressive activities based in local areas as relationship building and economic revitalization. Viewed this way, it may seem like art is trying to solve regional problems. However, actions that simply propel us towards the future, which to me is the essence of art, are not necessarily aimed at solving problems. Art is less about problem solving and more about discovering what is being treated as a problem, questioning it, loosening it by taking it up from different angles, and cultivating new relationalities with it. Art is uniquely good at recognizing the multiplicity of values at play by taking delight in the loosening and in the unexpected dynamism that can emerge. This is why I want to take seriously the everyday practice of questioning. That is, I take art to be a technique of surviving.
Hello world, this is Cocoroom and I'm Dan, your host. Listen. That's the sound of a Thai wooden frog that, lies around in this garden. In a hut for the smokers actually. But anyway, I'll talk about this garden today. So, now, this garden was, in Kanayo-san's own words, built so it can attract UFOs. So imagine you came from another world and you happen to be in Osaka flying overhead. You'll notice there's a circle made of concrete and some ceramic plates and marbles. In the middle of this garden. It's really interesting. And if you walk around it, you'll see a lot of walls that are hand painted and some tropical plants. So imagine you were to land here. You'll see a lot of papaya trees, some banana trees, and eucalyptus. If you were an Australian, you'd probably feel at home here. Or if you're from the tropics, you'll be surprised and think, wow, I've never thought I'd see these tropical plants in the middle of Osaka. It's a really surprising place. Anyway, so if you do come here though, one of the things that really stand out for me is this colorful rack full of Nepali prayer flags. It's really nice, just adds that international vibe to this place, makes it feel there's good vibes everywhere. So another thing you will notice if you walk into this garden is the well. So it's not every day you see a well in the modern world. Personally, I haven't seen that many unless you go to an old farm somewhere, but They started this well project 2 years ago. 700 people were involved. They dug 4.5 meters deep into a water vein because this area is full of them, which is amazing considering how much of this area in Kamagasaki is man-made actually. But somehow the water's just found its way flowing through the underground to the ocean, and this well kind of reminds you of that. Anyway, yeah, I will talk more about the rest of the garden for now. So next to the well, you'll see a fire pit. And it's used for all sorts of things. In the summer, sometimes they'll have a barbecue. Not recently because of COVID, of course, but nowadays they dry and some eucalyptus leaves. So for people who are really into aromatherapy, that's useful. If you know how to make your own eucalyptus oil, they will give you some leaves for that. Yeah, it's really interesting. Now, over here next to the fire pit, there's a banana grove. So this grove is really interesting because it's not everywhere that you can see a banana grove in Osaka of all places. So yeah, if you happen to live in Osaka and you want to feel the tropics, come to the garden in Cocoroom. It's really fascinating. You will experience a sense of nature like you won't feel anywhere else in the city. And it doesn't feel as cultivated as other places you go. So there's Tennoji Park nearby, but that's way too cultivated. And yeah, it's great, but this place just feels more authentic, and it's got that really interesting bohemian vibe that maybe artists crave. It's a lot more wild, I'd say. And it's good. It's something different. Come to Cocoroom one of these days and they'll show you the garden. It's really great. Anyway, bye for now, world, and have a good one. Bye. Hello, world. This is Cocoroom, heavenly garden in the middle of Kamagasaki.